we start the new lesson, kinetic theory of gas and radiation. Initially, there are the three laws that you have studied in chemistry in 11th standard. First law is a Boyle's law. At a constant temperature, volume of a gas is inversely proportional to the pressure. Second law also you have studied in chemistry known as Charles law. When the pressure is a constant, then volume of a gas is directly proportional to the temperature. And third law, by keeping the volume constant known as Gay-Lussac law, as pressure is proportional to the temperature of gas. All three laws applicable to the gas. These laws valid for real gases only if the pressure of a gas is not too high and temperature not close to the liquefaction temperature. Then these laws are valid. Otherwise, these laws are not valid. If you combine all these three laws and we formulate it, then we get for fixed mass of a gas PV proportional to T, combination of these two, that is PV proportional to the T, or we write PV divided by T is equal to constant. Why constant? To remove the proportionality sign, we take a constant that written as a constant. That means P into V divided by T is always remain a constant. As it always remain constant, we may write P1 V1 divided by T1 is equal to P2 V2 divided by T2, or it is also equal to P3 V3 divided by T3 and so on. In terms of number of moles of gas, PV is proportional to N into T, where N is the number of moles of the given gas. To remove the proportionality sign, we take a constant as R, then this equation becomes PV is equal to nRT. N, which is equal to mass of a gas divided by molar mass, which gives you the number of moles as a small n. That small n may be calculated by using another formula, which is capital N divided by capital N into A, which is equal to number of molecules of a gas divided by the Avogadro's number. What is Avogadro's number? That you studied in chemistry. R is known as proportionality constant and its value is a constant for all gases, and which is equal to 8.314 joules per mole degree Kelvin. What is Avogadro's number? Avogadro's numbers are number of molecules in 1 mole of gas. That means in 1 mole of gas, how many number of molecules of gas present, that number is known as Avogadro's number for that gas. R, that is a proportionality constant, can be written as Na into Kb. What is Na? Na is Avogadro's number, Kb Boltzmann constant. Since we know small n is equal to capital N divided by Na, by substituting the value in the equation, PV is equal to small n R T. Substitute the value of a small n, substitute the value of the R, then we get PV is equal to capital N Kb into T. For one molecule of a gas, that means capital N is equal to 1. As we know, PV is equal to nRT. Also, PV is equal to Kb into T. From this equation, we get Kb into T. Equate both the equation, we get nRT, which is equal to Kbt. Gas in a container can be described by three terms. That means with relate to the gas, there are the three terms are present. One is a pressure, volume and temperature. The molecules of a gas are not steady conditions. They are always in constant motion. Therefore, it is very difficult to understand the behavior of the gas because gas molecules are not steady at one position. There are two types of gases. One, ideal gas. Second, real gas. In ideal gas, intermolecular interaction is absent. Though that means force between two molecules is not present. In a real gas, intermolecular interaction present. That means between the two molecules there is a force of attraction or repulsion present in a gas. Real gas can be behave as ideal gas. That means these gases may be converted into ideal gas only when the density of real gas is low and pressure is low but temperature is high. Then a real gas can be behaves as a ideal gas. This condition may you create in the laboratory. We know the gas molecules are not steady. They are always in a random motion. So during their motion, they collide with the other molecules. Suppose these are the gas molecules 1, 2, 3 and 4. This gas molecule first is traveling in this direction. It collides over this first molecule, then it reaches to the molecule 3. When it collides with the molecule 3, it again travels in this direction, collide with the molecule 4. When the first molecule initially collide with molecule number 2, then whatever the distance it covered, that is a straight line path and that path is called as a free path. When it collide with molecule second and travel toward the molecule 3, whatever the distance it travel, that is also free path. When it collide over the molecule 3, travel toward the molecule 4, then whatever the distance traveled by this molecule is also called as a free path. So we have to calculate the average of all these three, and that average is known as a mean free path. That means average distance covered by the molecule during two successive collisions. Free path in between two successive collisions, the molecules moves along the straight path with constant velocity. Whatever the distance it covered called as a free path. Mean free path denoted by letter lambda. It is average distance traveled by a molecule with constant velocity between successive collisions. This mean free path is inversely proportional to the density of the gas. If the density is large, then mean free path is small. Therefore, collision between the molecule is large. Mean free path is also inversely proportional to the size of molecule. Generally, it depends upon the diameter of the molecules. That means mean free path is equal to 1 upon square of diameter. When we take the gas in a container, that gas apply the pressure on the wall of the container. We calculate the formula for a pressure. So we know the formula for pressure is a force upon area, but force is nothing but change in momentum upon time as per Newton's second law. So change in momentum, that is final momentum minus initial momentum, and momentum is nothing but mass into velocity. we calculate the pressure formula, pressure of the gas applied over the wall of the container. But for this, we go from downside. First calculate the change in momentum, then we calculate the force formula, and afterward we calculate the pressure formula. These are the steps we follow while deriving the expression of pressure of ideal gas. Consider n number of molecules of ideal gas enclosed in the cubical box having length capital L. So this is a cubical shape box which contain a gas, ideal gas. All the molecules travel in all direction. So edges of this cube we take on the x, y and z axis. The gas molecule travel along the x-axis, along the y-axis also, and along the z-axis. So these molecules have the velocity along the x-axis, along the y-axis, and along the z-axis. But for simplicity, initially we are not considering the motion of the gas along the y-axis, along the z-axis. Only we consider the motion of a gas molecule along the x-axis. We shown one face of the cube as a shaded region. We calculate the formula of a pressure acting on this shaded face of the cube. The molecules of a gas are in continuous random motion in all possible directions. We neglect intermolecular forces or intermolecular collision. That means one molecule collide with the other. That collision we are not considering. We consider the collision of molecules on this face. Pressure is so adjusted that molecules do not collide with each other but collide with the wall of a cubical container only. Let V velocity of a molecule which collide with the shaded wall of the cube. During the elastic collision, the velocity component of a molecule get reverse so that Vy, that means velocity along y-axis, velocity along z-axis remain a constant, and the velocity along x-axis which only get a change but which still remain we consider as a constant. So initially the gas molecule first collide over this shaded region. When it collide on this shaded region, it get a rebound back in the direction. During that collision, it changes its momentum. So momentum of gas molecule get a change. The change in momentum of a first molecule, we consider the one molecule, single molecule which collide on the shaded region. First molecule along x-axis is that is change in momentum delta px, final momentum minus initial momentum. So direction of a molecule, first molecule when collide on this wall, it get direction reverse. So because of that we consider the minus sign. So final momentum is equal to minus mass into velocity, velocity along x-axis of a first particle. So let it is Vx1 minus initial velocity of that first particle, that is m Vx1. So change in momentum of a gas molecule is minus 2m Vx1. This x1 is a suffix, that is a velocity of a first molecule along the x-axis. This momentum is given to the shaded wall of the container. When the molecule collide over this shaded portion, its momentum now given to this wall of the container. So wall of the container receives a momentum, and because of that change in momentum of wall during the collision of first molecule is plus, that is it gain. So plus 2m Vx1. After collision with a shaded wall, molecule rebound, goes to the opposite side, opposite wall, and collide with opposite wall, and again reflect back and move towards the shaded region. Here first collide over this wall, molecule travel in this back direction, collide over this opposite wall, again come back and collide over the shaded region. That may be shown in this cubical part also. Initially molecule collide over this wall. After collision it get a rebound, goes back, collide over this back, opposite wall, again come and collide with this first shaded wall. Between this collision, when it collide over the shaded region, goes toward the opposite side, travel distance which is equal to L because length of side is L. When it collide with opposite wall, again travel towards the shaded wall and covers the distance is L. So total distance covered during first collision and again reach towards the shaded region is 2L. Between two collision with shaded wall, molecule travels a distance which is equal to 2L. So we know the formula velocity is equal to distance upon time. From that, time is equal to distance upon velocity. Time taken by a molecule to collide with a shaded wall, go towards the opposite wall and again comes towards the shaded wall for second collision is delta t, which is equal to 2L divided by velocity, that is Vx1. We know the formula as per Newton's second law. Force is equal to change in momentum of a wall divided by time. This force is exerted on the shaded wall by the first molecule. Substitute the value of change in momentum, substitute the value of a time, then we get the value of a force is m v square x1 divided by L. Vx1, which is equal to x component of a velocity of a first molecule. But gas contains the number of molecules, that is a capital N number of molecules. So velocity of second, third and n molecules can be denoted by Vx2, Vx3, Vx4, Vxn. And therefore, all these n molecules apply a force on the shaded wall. So average force exerted on shaded wall by all molecules or total force acting on a shaded wall applied by all n gas molecules, that is F, which is equal to addition of force exerted by each molecule. So Fx1 plus Fx2 plus Fx3 dash dash dash. So similar to this formula, Fx1, which is equal to m Vx1 square divided by L, we write for each force Fx2, Fx3 and add them, take m divided by L as a common, then in bracket remain as V square x1 plus V square x2 plus V square x3 plus dash dash dash. We know the pressure. Average pressure is nothing but force upon area. That means average force into 1 upon area of a shaded region. So force, just we have calculated, substitute that value. Area, that means area of a shaded face of a cube, that is length into breadth, and both is the same. So it is a L square. L square into L is nothing but L cube. So pressure is equal to m divided by L cube inside bracket Vx1 square plus Vx2 square plus Vx3 square plus dash dash dash. So molecules are traveling along the x-axis. First molecule travel with velocity Vx1, second molecule travel with velocity Vx2, third molecule travel with velocity Vx3, and nth molecule. We don't know the number of gas molecules. We consider last molecule as nth molecule which travel with velocity Vxn. And these are the squares of this velocity. Now we calculate average of these velocities which denoted by Vx square. For calculate the average, we take the addition of all these three and divide by this total number of molecules. So Vx1 square plus Vx2 square plus Vx3 square plus dash 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 Vxn square divided by capital N. It gives you the average of all these velocities. Now n Vx square bar is equal to Vx1 square plus Vx2 square plus Vx3 square plus dash 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 Vxn square, and substitute the value of this in the formula. Then we get pressure is equal to m divided by L cube into n x v square bar, that means the average of velocities square. Gas molecules are always random in motion. They travel along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. We have calculated square average velocity along x-axis. Similarly, we calculate the square average velocity along y-axis and square average velocity along z-axis. And using that, we find the net square average velocity or total square average velocity, which is equal to v square bar, which is equal to square average velocity along x-axis plus square average velocity along y-axis plus square average velocity along z-axis. But we are considering the shape of a container is a cubical, so square average velocity along x-axis is equal to square average velocity along y-axis, which is equal to square average velocity along z-axis. So v square bar is equal to vx square bar plus vx square bar plus vx square bar, which is equal to 3v square x bar. Shift this v3 to the other LHS side, then v square x bar is equal to v square bar divided by 3, and substitute that in the pressure formula, and this pressure formula may get changed as P is equal to m divided by L cube n into 1 upon 3 v square bar. L cube is nothing but volume of a container, and pressure is equal to now 1 upon 3 n divided by v into m into v square bar. This much pressure act on the wall of the container.